Welcome. My name is Matt. This is Massive Beers. We do the beer stuff here, and it's been a while since I did a little Muckraker up in this piece. Former of their Hazen. This comes courtesy of my boy Keith from 93 Lumber. If you don't know who that is, just type in 93. No numbers. All the letters. Does beer stuff. Just like me. And this comes from a brewery that we dig quite a bit. It's been a while since I've been to Muckraker, but it's been a while since I've been to a bunch of breweries just because shed, family, life, work, all that fun stuff. But he picked some of this up and he dropped it on me. It's the weird part of New Jersey that I want to tell the story about before I dive into the beer. Is that while this is Muckraker beer, this is made, produced, and sold by 12% Beer Project. So it's not Tom from Muckraker like making the beer at the brewery itself. It's actually produced up there. The kooky part about it is, since it's Jersey, he's not even allowed to sell his beer in his brewery, which I always find ultra hilarious. And I'm kind of curious to where it lands because, everything I've had from Muckraker has been from the brewery. And while he does do, New England style, New England influenced beers, it always has this little bit of a Muckraker twist on it because, Tom's going to do Tom. But at the same time, his brewery imparts that. It's not a dirty brewery by any chance, but it's not a dial the keypad up, Excel sheet, everything is prim and proper, clean to the nines kind of thing. It's a wild brewery. He likes lambic. He likes wild lambic-esque kind of beers. He likes making fruited beers. He likes making beers with acidity and tartness and things like that. So to have one of his beers come from a clean facility, kind of excited. Dive into it. What is this beer all about? It says here, New England style India Pale Ale, dry hop citron mosaic. Why not? If you're going to do it with the classics. Brewed package, 12% Beer Project. This is can 20923. It's not even a month old, so thank you very much, Keith, for that. And it's just a Muckraker, his little logo there, and his little wording. I don't actually hate his branding, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, his logo's a little bit kind of old-ish kind of vibe, but for the beers he produces, kind of makes sense. But the way he lays them out, like this can does not have any kind of dumbness to it, I guess you could say. It has a thoughtful layout, font, the whole nine. I dig it. I like it. What's this little thingy here? Oh, it's 12%. I was going to be like, is that a little code? But it's 12%. So, beer-wise, I can smell it from here. It's just the fruit juice. Fruit Loops? Not Fruit Loops. Juicy fruit. That's kind of what I'm getting from a distance. It just has this big turbid hazy kind of thing going on. So it definitely has all the parts and parcels of what you expect from a big old hazy. Big, rich, orange, frothy head. It's good nose. Yeah, it smells like a really well done hazy IPA. Now you might be like, okay, that's really wonderful thing to say. Well, it is though, because there is something to it. It smells like a really well done hazy IPA. It doesn't smell like a hazy IPA. It smells like a really done version of it. There's bursting fruits from all corners of the spectrum, leaning heavily orange and tropical fruit for me. But it's a melange of all that. There's a soft kind of lactosey vibe to it that I attribute to a combination of brewer sugar and oats in beers more often than not. So I'm assuming that's what's going on here. I know the brewers that do brew at a 12% Beer Project, they create their beers, their recipes themselves, but they're typically more often brewed by somebody else. It used to be, or could still be, Zach from Marlowe Ales, but I know he opened up his own brewery spot, so I don't know if he's still the guy there. But it smells like, a decent hand at laying down some awesome hazy IPA had some influence on there. Not that Tom can't do that, but yeah, I'm just going to dive in, see what's what. Cheers, y'all. Yeah. It really is kind of like really new school. What's the ABV on this again? 6. Really new school hazy IPA, but with a little bit different ticks on it. Some, I would say, it might be not somebody's favorite thing in the world, but let's cut to it. What I like about it. Juice. It's juice. There's juice. Just orange juice, some fruit juice, tropical juice, blend. That's what it's giving you. It's giving all the hits of what you want flavor wise when it comes to a hazy IPA. A bursting, rich, decadent. Again, 6%. Keep that in mind. We're not dealing with a 7, 8% beer here. You're talking about a relatively low ABV beer that's bursting at the seams with fruit flavor. Bitter. Doesn't have a nice bittering to it. That's a positive. There's also a slight con to it. There's a nice bittering to it. It's not dropped out of all bitterness. It's not a bittering beer, but there's a nice bittering to it. I think that balances off that fruitiness quite well and keeps it from being something that is just one-sided, and keeps it from being just too sweet, especially at 6%. On the flip of that spectrum, there's a carbonic acid thing here. There is a bittering from a hop, but I feel like it's elevated a bit with some carbonic acid to the point where it's perceptible. So a lot of times you can just help knock that bittering around, a little bit of carbonic acid, and you'll be like, okay, you're pretty much perceptionally just getting hops. Here I feel like you're getting that little bit of seltzer kind of thing going on. I don't hate it. It's not at that level, but it's perceptible. And the other thing here, and this is probably my biggest knock on the beer itself, mouthfeel. It does come off a bit light. It does come off thinner. It's not thin, but it lacks that softness. And that carbonic acid can be kind of one of those things that helps knock down that mouthfeel. It lacks this softness that you really want to drive all this awesome flavor home. And it can be had because, it's 6% low ABV. Once you start getting lower ABV, it's a little bit harder of a trick to pull off, but King does it at 5.4%. Boat does it. There are lower ABV hazies that can get that mouthfeel there, so it can be had. It's just, that's probably the biggest thing here that kind of not makes me not like the beer, because I really, really do like it. I think it's really, really fantastic. You give this to me in 4-packs, 6%, so 15, 16 bucks, I'm buying this on the reg. It's just that mouthfeel. If you bump that up a little bit to where you get a little bit of silkiness, a bit more softness out of it, I think that little bit of carbonic thing goes to the side, and I think it just comes off as a much nicer, well done. I don't want to use that word because it sounds like I don't like it. It comes off as next level. That's what I wanted to say, as opposed to just like really tasty. Be like, okay, now I'm crushing these on the super reg as opposed to the regular reg, depending on price point, obviously. But no, I really do dig it. Having the beers that I've had from Tom, having the beers I've had from Muckraker, and then have this be his first foray into what I would call mass-produced beer, shelf beer, because that's what it is. It's not a brewery that he's going to be serving at his unless he does a Hazen in his brewery, which he has done, I believe. Or a version of this. He's not serving this at his brewery, so it is kind of a shelf beer. It's really tasty and really fun. I'm glad I got to try it. So, thank you very much, Keith, for giving it to me. And thank you very much, Tom, for making it. Very tasty stuff. Fun stuff. It's always good to support good breweries, too. That's a good thing. Anyway, is it one of the best hazies, low ABV, sub 6% below? Let's go there. Hazy IPAs I've had as of late. It's in the conversation. It's not Mount Rushmore status. I live and die by the low ABV hazy. There are ones in that 6% low, mid to low sixes, even lower, that do me a little bit better, but it's definitely in the conversation, eking up towards the top. Just that mouthfeel, if it was there, it'd be a wholehearted yes. Value and availability, no idea. Keith, what did you pay for this? Anybody else out there? Have you seen this? Have you, my wife just texted me, so I lost my train of thought. Have you had this? Have you had this iteration? Have you had some Muckraker beers? Let me know it's what. Do all that stuff down there. Let's have the conversation. Beautiful brewery. Go check it out. If you're ever up, if you're in northern New Jersey, it's not super duper far away from a lot of the great hits that a lot of people go to in northern Jersey. Conversely, if you're in Orange County, New York, you're doing the whole Drownlands, Rushing Duck, Equilibrium, Tin Barney thing. Again, coming back into Jersey, you're not that far off. It's actually kind of close to both areas, so it's definitely a place you can hit. Brewery is very cool, and the beers are quite fun. They show soccer there too. Am I allowed to say that? It's Jersey. He's a big soccer fan. He's a Manchester United fan, but anyway, soccer fan. So if you're into soccer, please stop. But there you go. Let's talk about it. All that stuff down there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Muckraker right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers.